podcast, Vicki?
It ranges from a low of 5 or 6 if we happen to have one on a holiday, like we did a show on Valentine's Day. And we've actually got one scheduled for the 4th of July, and I'm debating that. But it's gone as high as 200, and then that doesn't account for how many people are downloading it and taking it with them. And that's something I haven't had the chance to sit down and really parse out, because I've got 5 different venues where our podcast gets broadcast to for later downloading, so I've got to go pull all those stats and see where we're at. But a lot of people, just based on anecdotal, a lot of people are listening. So
yeah,
either live or in Memorex, one of the two. I don't know how many people out there even old enough to remember what a Memorex is, but there you go.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I've seen them, but I haven't used them a whole lot, I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, basically live was live and Memorex was recorded. So, it was just kind of, is it live or is it Memorex was a commercial back in the 70s.
For cassette tapes.
Yeah, huh? Well, actually, and then exactly. for audio tapes, for video tapes, for Memorex was everywhere. For discs, they were...
Yeah, that's what most of my cassette tapes and most of my VHS tapes are, is Memorex.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but
I still have things that play them.
Yeah, exactly. We are in a lot of different places, and at some point I'm going to pull the stats and publish that, because it's something I'm interested in and the team's been asking me about. So,
Yeah, because I know it's getting more and more popular, because I've been hearing about it everywhere. So.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
Cool.
Thank you. It's good to know that.
Yeah.
We only hear what we see online and with our friends, so it's good to hear it from somebody who has different circles of friends, that aren't in our intersectional, group.
Cool. Believe it or not, we don't actually talk to everybody.
Yeah. It just sounds like we do.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll do a Got Mead live from the...
I would love to do a Got Mead live from the Mazer Cup. It's just that the tech wasn't there for me this year. I'm going to have to buy a better mini portable computer so that I can broadcast live.
Well, the other big factor there is that, to do anything with media there at the hotel, cost an arm and a leg and your firstborn.
Well, yes and
they charge us for it?
Yeah, if you're doing something official, yes. But, if I wanted to broadcast live from, the awards ceremony, they wouldn't care.
Yeah, if you bring your own tech,
if I bring my own tech, they don't care. Yeah, they really don't.
But if you're using their tech, it's probably where it gets...
I'm bringing in an outsider to do the tech for for part of the stuff for the AMMA conference, and they don't care. They're just like, as long, if you need us, great. Here's a quote, and if you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah, they're pretty laid back. Yeah, you didn't know that?
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, okay. You can call me later, okay?
You're like, oh, webcast might be a thing now.
I got a guy. I got a guy who's got a thing,
It's not that. It's not that. It's that if you wanted to use their Wi-Fi or whatever to get it out.
Yeah, totally.
And you wanted to use their electricity, and you wanted to use anything else to throw stuff up onto the screens that they've got. Which, is something that we require in all of them. It's, we have to do that. But
then yes, yeah, and I am paying for that, for the stuff that we have to do at the conference for that, yes. But I've got somebody who's doing audio-video recording, and it doesn't have anything to do with the hotel, and they don't care.
Yeah. If it's that's
a different story, yeah. They have their own subcontracted company that they use, and any kind of resources that you're using that are part of the hotels have to go through them, no ifs, ands, or buts whatsoever.
Yeah, they're providing me with my mics and screens and projectors,
exactly.
and the prices were not unreasonable. They weren't awesome, but they weren't terrible either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the PA stuff is usually not too crazy expensive. It's when you get to broadcasting that it gets a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, and if I do any live broadcast, blah 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 blah. If I do any live broadcasting for GML at the Mazer Cup next year, it'll be using my own data. They won't be theirs. It'll be mine.
Yeah, that's what live stream's for.
Exactly.
Get better rates. Just so you have to do it under your own corporate.
Verizon
It's a
Unlimited
policy.
plan, baby. So, yeah.
Right on.
Pete, anything else you want to tell the folks? Because I know you are a hit the hay early kind of guy on work nights for you. So,
Yeah, I
anything
got
else
that
you'd like to let the
3:30
crowd?
in the morning wake up.
Yeah, I was telling everybody winced when I told them.
Yeah, it's way too early to get up for any normal human beings. Just if you're judging, come prepared. Be there on time, please. We're going to get a group photo of all the volunteers early on Friday morning before the commercial competition.
Okay.
To me, it's really important that we get and recognize all the people that make it happen. I'd like to get that in large group pictures so everybody can be a part of that, and we can put it out on the Facebook and onto our website and such. And also, if you're making the sensory calibration for Thursday night, kind of put that in your pocket and keep it as part of you for the judging the next day, looking at meads that may or not be jumping out there with all the ingredients they call out, but meads that are greater than the sum of the parts. If they've got a vanilla and a cinnamon and a mead, and you can taste both, and it's not overwhelming, but all of a sudden, on the long finish, you're tasting other things and how it develops across your palate. The kind of story it tells as you take it into your mouth to begin with, and it, washes across your tongue and your palate and everything. What's it saying to you as that happens? Is it saying I'm developing as I'm doing this, or am I just, a graphic representation of the two ingredients that I called out? And there's really where we're going to go with the sensory. What I really want to start moving the judging toward is the ability to recognize things that are really incredible because of the subtlety, as opposed to things that are really incredible because of the overall, flavor as being depicted as called out in the entry sheet.
And
So have you started developing palate exercises so that people can build up to being able to recognize that?
Ooh, good idea.
Yeah, pretty soon I'm going to have, a 3-point system where people can exercise their palate to the point of where they can lift 1,000 pounds with it.
Sweet.
Make sure to sell it on 50% sale.
Yeah.
Infomercial style.
Yeah.
What time is the class
We'll have
at,
them do.
Pete?
We start at 7:00 p.m. I'll be doing the first portion of it, and Ryan Thomas will be picking up with some detailed attention to BJCP judging and how that applies in the home competition, and things to look out for when you're judging. A lot of people don't really realize they've got a lot of help right there in front of them on the judging sheet if they just take a look at it and let it kind of help them, guide them along.
Okay,
You
excellent.
forget not everybody can read.
Yeah. Also, isn't the Mazer Cup holding a proctored BJCP mead test?
Well, yeah, we have the BJCP mead exam at 5:00 on Thursday. I think the class is either close to or at full, but that's no reason not to email us. If you want to take the mead test, email us at info@mazercup.org, and we'll get that over to Ryan, who is our test administrator, and he'll make sure that if there's room, you're in there, and if there's alternate spots, you'll be listed as an alternate.
Nice. So if you're not going to the Mazer Cup, you need to be. And if you can't, then you need to plan to go next year.
And Victor
That's my
said
plan.
so.
Be there or be square, dudes.
The mead wench has spoken.
I have
Yeah.
spoken, yes.
Yeah.
Be there or be rectangular.
That's right. Because at the Mazer Cup, we just got to be different.
That's right.
Oh, I did forget to mention earlier when we were talking about Mythic Mead and the new Huck Me that just came out is we do have a raffle going on. If you go to our Facebook, all you have to do is upload a picture of you being Mythic and tag it Be Mythic, and enters you into the raffle.
Nice.
So yeah, we're giving away a bottle, and if you're on Vino Shipper, if we can ship to your state, we're shipping to you.
Awesome.
If you win.
Right on.
I'm gonna be trying that. I like huckleberry mead. I won't enter the raffle. I'll let other people do that. I'll just pay for a bottle.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
you can always step, so we won't stop you.
No. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are going to enter. I'm only too happy to pay for a bottle of good mead,
And I think Vino Shipper only ships to Canada by the case. So.
Yeah, well, that's okay, because I'm going to see you at the Mazer Cup, too, so things can be arranged. Because I'm going to be
hook everyone up.
I'm shipping a box of mead out to the Mazer Cup, so, we could probably make or hell, I could probably have it delivered to Colorado for that.
I have committed
Hey.
to drinking so much mead when I'm over there. I'm just not sure what's going to go on.
Hey, you better go on some kind of diet so you lose at least 5-6 pounds before you get here.
Yeah.
And
there'll be plenty of mead.
Oh, yeah.
More mead than you can ever drink in a lifetime. Trust me.
By Sunday, we're to the point where it's like whiskey. Whiskey is good.
Oh God.
Seriously.
Yeah, by the time we get to Sunday, we're all begging for hops.
Oh God, yeah. Well, we used to go beer hunting every year before it outgrew its britches, and we were so whipped by the end of it that nobody could even fathom the idea of getting in a car and driving somewhere. We just all laid around groaning at the hotel. But we used to go beer hunting, and a bunch of us would just go brewery hopping for the entire Sunday or Monday.
Did you have any
that
brackets
was
in the cup competition?
Yeah, lots of braggots.
Any what? Yeah, there's plenty of braggots. Yep.
So you get
Plenty
some
of
hot.
braggots at the competition. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it gets bigger every year.
Yeah,
too.
I remember back a few years when we were over at the Outlook, the ill-fated Avery tasting room trip. It started with the barrel-aged Samuel
Oh my God.
and moved on to the Beast,
Yeah, I love Samuel.
and then on to Mephistopheles. Those are all clocking in at between 16 and 18% alcohol.
They're all going, Vicky, you need to try this. No, you need to have a whole pint of this. I was really good and swift by the end of that. Just that one visit, and we had like 3 more breweries to visit. They were all laughing at me. It was so unfair. Pete got a fair amount of amusement out of that because I'm such a lightweight when it comes to beer.
And then you do meet all the time, so that's got to be interesting for you.
Yeah, well, I can't drink a ton of mead either, honestly. And Pete knows this because he was there the first year I did that. My very first year as an independent judge, they put me on fortified meads, and that table went off first thing in the morning. So 8 a.m. Okay, we got like 3 flights of fortified meads, and I was on all of them. By the time we got to lunch, and of course nobody.
Were you actually investing?
Yeah, yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, she wasn't hip to spitting at that point.
No, I wasn't. And Pete was like, "Why aren't you spitting?" And I'm like, "But they're so good."
Seems like such a waste.
Yeah, that was exactly it. It was like, "But they're so good." And he's like, "And how do you feel?" I said, "Wasted." And he says, "There you go."
How can you be judging when your taste buds don't work anymore?
If you're gonna judge like 50, 60, 75, 80 meads over the course of 2 days, spit. I can't emphasize that strongly enough. Swish and spit.
Swish and spit.
Well,
Yes.
There's an even better reason for that. And the main reason is not just because you don't want to get drunk. The main reason is in the commercial competition, these people are paying $75 per entry.
Yeah.
And as a judge, you have a responsibility to be at your best when you're judging their mead, because that's why they're paying to enter that mead. They want somebody whose faculties are about them, whose nose and palate are at their best, and when you're drunk, your nose and your palate aren't anywhere near their best.
No. Agreed.
So that's, we have a responsibility to all the people that enter the competition, whether commercial or home, to keep our wits about us and to, wait until after the competition. There'll be plenty to drink then.
And for those that are wondering, if there's something you really like, note the number down. You can track it down after the competition's over, and if there are leftovers, you get to have some.